All right. Hey guys, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are going to be talking about how to sustainably manifest things, okay? Um, we're going to be talking about aligning over grinding. What's up, Velma? Hey, hey, hey. I hope you're doing well. Tonight we're talking about how to manifest sustainably. And we're going to be talking about grinding versus aligning and the difference between the two. Real quick, let me share this out before I start daydreaming, because I will do it. Hey, Cosmic Queen, what's up? We're going to be talking about grinding versus aligning today and what all of that means. What's the difference between the two? How do you know you're doing one versus the other? All of those good things. So real quick, I'm just going to share this out so some other people can jump in the room, because there are certain characteristics and things that we have and things that we do when we're grinding versus when we're actually being aligned to do something or to understand something. Wait, let me see. I think that's it. All right. So let me send those out. Hello, 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 hello. All right. So there's quite a bit that we're going to cover tonight. There are some specific things. Hey, I transform lives. Thank you for jumping in here. There are some specific things that we do. Hey, thank you for your daily boo. How are you? I hope you've been amazing. What's up, life in Europe? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are going to be talking about grinding versus aligning and how you know you're doing one versus the other. Okay, so we're going to talk through this. A lot of people go hard after what they want. All right, the number one thing we are told is if you want it, you got to work for it. Right, a lot of times this is what we're told. Thank you so much for the Go Populars. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, Divine's Inspirations? What's up, Hoof? And so a lot of times we're told, don't wish for it, work for it, right? Cello. And so we hear this all the time. If there's something that you want, you're going to have to put in the what? The work, the work, the work, right? Now, we're going to talk through what the work is, what the work should look like. Because thank you for your daily Divine's Inspirations, because a lot of people are putting in work and they're getting opposite results. They're getting opposite results because they don't understand that grinding and aligning are two very different things, okay? These are two different things that are going to give us two very different results. And I'm going to talk you guys through that. But before I get into it, right, always, if you are in here with us, make sure that you press and hold down my nose and you share this out to other people so they can get this information. And then, of course, tap, tap, tap that screen if you love what you're hearing. I promise tonight you guys are going to be so happy I shared this with you. What a lot of people don't realize is that grinding leaks the energy and puts us on a different wavelength that is the opposite of alignment. That is the opposite. It's the opposite of alignment. So a lot of people feel like, oh, this is my goal. I'm aligning with that. Now I'm going to grind for it. I'm going to grind. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to run after it. And they don't realize that they're running 100 miles an hour in the opposite direction of the way they actually should be going. I want you to think about something, and I dare you to keep it real, okay? I dare you to keep it real. I want you to think about something that you said, man, I worked so hard on that. Or I worked so hard. What's up, Z-Loves? I worked so hard for that thing. And I want you to think about that. Take yourself back to that moment. And then I want you to ask yourself, does that thing still exist in your life? Does that thing, what's up, Great? Does that thing still exist in your life? How did that thing, what's up, ALC? How did that thing turn out? Does that thing that you grinded for, does it still exist in your life right now? Right? And if it does, say it does in the comments. If it doesn't, say it doesn't, right? I can think of several things. What's up, Camo? I can think of several things that I grind. Thank you, I transform lives. I can think of several things that I grinded for. I mean, I put in, listen, I worked that thing like a part-time job. I worked that thing, baby. Blood, sweat, tears, all of it, right? The things that you grind for are unsustainable. It's a universal fact. The things that we grind for, we cannot sustain. We cannot sustain, right? It's not to say, what's up, Goldie? What's up, Healing? It's not to say that the things that we desire we can't align with, we can. However, the way that we go after those things to get them to manifest and bring them to fruition, grinding is not the way. Grinding is not going to be the sustainable way. Thank you for the follow, Kim. It's not going to be the sustainable way. And I'm going to talk you through it because there's a lot of people that are grinding. They're like, I got goals. I'm going to get out here and I'm going to hustle it. I'm going to grind for it. I'm going to go for it. And they don't understand that they're going in the opposite direction. Hey, Majesty, they're going in the opposite direction of alignment. And they're going to leak energy. They're going to lose energy. And they basically tell the universe, I want to work hard for this. I want to be bone dog tired when this thing comes to fruition for me. I want to be dog tired and delirious when this thing comes to fruition for me. That's the message that we're sending out when we say, I got to grind for it. When we say, I refuse to give up, I'm going to grind for it, right? Instead of aligning. And I'm going to talk you through both of these, what grinding looks like, because some people say, well, but I got to work for it. Yeah, you do, but you shouldn't be grinding for it. Anytime something feels forced, you're going to give up some energy for it and it will not be sustainable. It will not be sustainable. Yes, you will manifest it. Hey, Angel Wilson. Yes, you will manifest it. But it will not be sustainable. Think about the last thing that you really poured your heart and soul into and you grind yourself down. You put nose to the grindstone. You got absolute tunnel vision. And you put nose to the grindstone. You didn't go out, right? You didn't hang with your friends, right? A lot of things hit the back burner because you said, I'm in grind mode. Ask yourself the question, where are those things right now in your life? Where are those things right now in your life? Where are those things right now? Ask yourself, where is that thing right now in my life? Is it something that, hey, Liz, is it something that you still want to keep? Because I can tell you right now, every single thing that I've thought of, that I've grinded for, yes, it did come to fruition. Yes, it did manifest. But I can tell you right now, not one of those things actually still exists. Not one. Not one of those things. Not one. And there's a reason behind that. So let's talk through it. So when we talk about grinding versus aligning, okay, the first thing to remember is that when we are grinding for something, or when we start to say, oh, I know I've got to work super hard for that thing. I've got to grind for that thing. I got to hustle for that thing. We are already sending out messages to the universe that says, I don't want anything easy. I don't want anything easy. And the universe is indifferent about how hard you want to work for something. It can give it to you the easy way, or it can give it to you the hard way. It can give it to us with ease and grace, or it can make us pay through the nose for it, right? And some people pay with their physical health. And so we're going to talk about this. Every time I see an entrepreneur in grind mode and they say, hey, I want to collaborate with you, I give like a side eye. And I started to think to myself, I'm not about to grind for a doggone thing. I'm not about to sacrifice my health, my sleep. If you think I'm about to be up with you at 2 a.m. trying to hustle something up, baby, you got the wrong partner. I don't think we're aligned. I don't think we're aligned, right? And so it's important. I didn't say I didn't want to work for it, but I said I'm not going to grind for it. There is a difference, and we're going to talk through that. And so when I see that in entrepreneurs, and when I see them say, hey, I think we could do something together, I be looking like, let me go look at that. Let me go look at what they doing. Because I don't know if I don't know if all of what they're doing is what I'm going to want to do. And I'm honest with myself about it. I'm super honest. Oh, thank you so much for this. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I transform lives. I'm super clear on that. And this is coming from somebody who was a perpetual grinder. I was a perpetual hustler. I'm answering emails at 2 a.m. between my sleep. You hear me? I'm up for meetings at 4 and 5 a.m. before the rest of the world is up. Grinding, hustling. And I can tell you, none of those things have sustained themselves. Not one of those things. Not one. So we're going to talk through what this looks like, right? Grind culture glorifies exhaustion. People like being able to say, ooh, I'm tired. I worked myself. Ooh, I did that. Yeah, you did. You showed it. One way you gonna do it is without me, right? You gonna do it without me. Because I'm not trying to live like that. I'm not trying to live like that, right? And so, hey, boo, what's up? And so when we're looking at this grind culture, hustle culture, and y'all know, it glorifies exhaustion, baby. It glorifies exhaustion. Sometimes, for some reason, people want an applause because they're exhausted. They want somebody to be able to say, ooh, look at what you did. Look at what you've created. It glorifies exhaustion and it glorifies constant doing. There are some people that don't feel like they measure their success based on all that they have done or all that they're doing, right? And I can tell you, I'm one of those people that used to be like that. I can tell you, as someone who's won awards in business, I can tell you, right? As someone who's gotten multiple degrees, boy, I can tell you, the hustle and the grind, people measure their worth by the stuff that they can say they've done, or the things that they can say, oh, I did that. Oh, I was. It's like another notch in their belt. It's like another notch in their belt. They think being able to sit down and say all that they've done is a way of glorifying a life well lived. And it's so funny because other cultures don't really care about that. I didn't realize that until after I came to Mexico, and people would ask me, what do you do? I didn't realize that until after I came to Mexico, and people would ask me, what do you do? They'll ask, what do you do? Asking, where'd you go to school? What do you do for work? What's your profession? They don't care nothing about that. Not one person is impressed that I have a doctorate degree and I'm enrolled for a second one. Not one. Hey, Rossi. Not one. Not one. They are not asking us. They are not asking what you do. Like all the things that we think are important. They are not asking us that. They are asking us essentially, how do you live? How do you live? That is what they're asking. Meaning, how do you take care of yourself? What are your hobbies? What are the things you enjoy? What are the things that bring you peace? What are the things that make you happy? And most people, the ones that are caught up in the doing and the hustle and the grind, have no idea how to answer that question. They can rattle off, hey, Serenique, they can rattle off all the awards they've won. They can name drop for people who they say know them. They can say, oh, I met so-and-so and I did this and I've done that. And no one cares. No one cares. People want to know, how have you had a life well lived? How are you aligned with a life well lived? And I realized that this was a common question in Mexico. I was like, how come everybody always asks me what I do, but then when I tell them, they get like this blank look? It's like it's like you're not really telling me what you do, right? They really want to know, how do you live? How do you enjoy life? They are looking to align with commonalities, right? They don't want to just hear that you're a parent. They don't want to just hear that you're in school. They want to hear other things. And they're looking for where they can establish some kind of rapport and a relationship with you. But telling them all of your accolades and telling them all of the letters behind your name, child, they don't care about that. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care nothing about that. And I'm not going to say that's purely an American thing, but Americans always lead with what they think is success. They always lead with what they think is something worth sharing. And I'm not saying, don't get it twisted. I'm not knocking education. I love school, right? But they always tend to think that because they have a degree or because they've experienced something, number one, they assume that the person they're talking to has it. Thank you so much for the autumn love. I appreciate that. Number one, they assume that the person they're talking to hasn't already done that stuff and surpassed all that. That's the first thing, right? I remember being in a meeting with some folks from the federal government, a contract that I was wanting to be a part of. We was all going in as kind of a team, okay? And I used to love federal contracting, and this is one of the things that took me off of it, because they love to degree drop and name drop. You know what I'm saying? They love to big up their credentials. They love to be able to say, I've done this and I've done that, and I've got 20 years doing this, and I've got, my cousin is the CEO of Johns Hopkins, and blah, 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 blah. And no one cares. No one cares. But if you were to ask them, name 5 things you've done this year to get out of your comfort zone and absolutely enjoy life, they cannot answer the question. They cannot answer the question. Most people can't name 3 things they've done this year to get out of their comfort zone that has nothing to do with work. They don't even know how to live. They don't even know how to live. They think getting their degree was them living. And it is not. It is not. People getting degrees all over the world. It is not. And they're also living. And they're also skiing. And they're also climbing Mount Everest. And they're also visiting 20 countries. And they're also visiting 5 countries every couple months. Right? And so there are people actually living. Okay? And no, them going to school or them getting another certification, that is not living. That's just something you're doing. Right? That's just something we're doing. And so we tend to, the reason I say this is because we tend to grind for things that are not considered living. We tend to grind, hey Goldie, we tend to grind for things that are not considered living. Right? Not realizing, thank you for sharing this out, Divine Inspirations, not realizing that there's people doing that and. There are people that have already accomplished all the things that you name dropping and degree dropping and credential dropping. There's plenty of people who done did all of that and they went to 20 countries in 1 year. How are you living? How are you aligning with a life well lived? Or is everything just about the grind? Because that's not living, right? There is a guy on Facebook, and I don't know if he's on TikTok, but he's a very successful guy, and he's in Atlanta, and he always has this, after every post he puts up, he puts, do the dash. right? And I used to be like, why does he always put that? Why is that always, hey Susie, why is that always his hashtag? And one day on a post, he explained it. And he said, there is a dash between the day you are no longer here and the date you were born. What are you doing with that dash? Are you just grinding? Are you just hustling? What are you doing in the space that is the time that you come into this planet and the time which you cannot choose? Neither one of those we choose. The time that we leave. What are you doing with that dash? Is it just credential dropping? That's not living. That's grinding. That's not aligning. And the thing that we have to be aware of is when we grind, we're actually missing out on life. We're actually missing out. When we're in grind mode, we actually are missing out on life. We're missing out. When we're in alignment mode, we see a lot more. Life shows us a lot more, you guys. So let's talk through what these two mean. Alignment means, right? Thank you so much, Divine's Inspirations. Alignment honors ease. It honors receptivity. And it honors intuition and inspired action. I didn't say we was just going to sit and do nothing. We ain't going to just sit and do nothing. But we have to take inspired action. That's very different from grinding. Very different from grinding. And we're going to talk through what that means here. Very different from grinding. Inspired action is very different. It's very different. So when I remember, so it's been almost 2 years. You guys know I'm in Mexico. And it's been almost 2 years now. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I could have never guessed how things were going to shape up in this world and the way they have shaped up in this world. I could have never, if you would have told me, if someone would have said, hey, there's some things you're going to dodge if you leave within the next 6 months or so, I probably would have been like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? And so I've always thought about expatting, living somewhere else, probably since my late teens, early 20s, 18, 19, probably at about 22 years old was the time that I really was dreaming about expatting. I was looking at places like Munich. I was looking at places like Morocco. I was looking at places that were pretty far away. And at the time, didn't have a kid, never been married, none of those things. And so I always knew that I would end up leaving and living somewhere else. So this is a new concept for me. It just took forever to get here because I was stuck in grind mode. Let me tell you how things happen when you align, right? And so I remember something woke me up out of my sleep and was like, you got to go. Like, you need to go now, right? And this was almost 2 years ago. I was like, you got to go. You need to go now. And then I was just like, well, I can't go now because, it's the middle of the night. I know Spirit send messages, but here's the thing. I ain't going nowhere but back to sleep, okay? What's up, Ask Mama? I ain't going nowhere but back to sleep. It was my response. But I appreciate it. And I can tell you, I felt the sense of as if someone almost stayed with me that evening, almost stayed with me after they gave me this message. And I was just like, kind of feels like somebody's still kind of standing in my room. This is weird, but I'm going back to sleep, okay? I'm going back to sleep. So the next day I was like, well, let me just kind of immerse myself. And this is where the alignment starts. So what I would do while I was sitting at home on my computer working, I would play on YouTube videos on my TV. That's why you guys see me doing this. I played on my TV YouTube videos of people who moved abroad. And I would just play it over and over again. Mexico, Thailand, Korea, right? Ghana, all the places that people have gone. And I would just let it play like in the background, right? Looking at some of it, but not looking at all of it. What's up, real woman? And so what ended up happening was my son, he came home one day, almost halfway through the school year, and he was like, It was in 10th grade. I'll never forget this. He was like, I cannot do 4 years in this kind of environment. I cannot. I need to either go back online. I need to do something because I can't do 4 years with these kids. I remember that. And I was like, well, I need a break too. I need a break too. And at first we said, okay, let's go somewhere else. And at first we said, well, let's go back to Texas because we was in Houston for almost 4 years. We were in Houston for like 3.5 years, almost 4 years. And we were like, well, let's go back to Texas. And then I was like, well, technically, if we go online, we can go anywhere we want. And so we have been coming back and forth. People don't know this, but we actually have been coming back and forth to Mexico since he was very young, right? Back and forth to Mexico, different parts of Mexico. And what eventually happened was I said, okay, let's go to Mexico. And I had started looking at other cities, right? Guadalajara, Mexico City, Merida, Tulum, right? A lot of people go to Playa del Carmen. A lot of people go to Cancun. We was all Playa del Carmen and Cancun'd out. I had no interest in going over there to be for a while. And so we ended up getting an Airbnb here in Guadalajara, Mexico. That's what we ended up doing. It's a city, right? It's not a tourist trap. Right? If you're here and you're a foreigner, people are going to look at you, right? Until they see you enough, right? But then they'll say hello and all that stuff. But the alignment started from me getting that message. Now, had I just ignored it and continued to grind, I wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting today, right? Almost 2 years in to this journey, living somewhere else, right? I wouldn't be that. Also, when I got here, someone else said, hey, laddie. Someone else said, hey, there's a program where you can get your temporary residency and it'll last you for 4 years and you don't got to go back and forth. And you don't have to go back and forth. What's up, Mystical Misty? You don't have to go back and forth. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea. We just had an Airbnb for 2 weeks, right? So a couple things started to align. A couple of things started to align. Number one, the person told me about the residency. Number two, somebody put me in touch with a real estate agent. I was in the Airbnb. We was just kind of taking a break, right? And someone said, talk to this real estate agent. And that real estate agent was like, I'm going out of town, but I'm happy to help you when I get back. And then he said, oh, before I go, thank you for the roses. He said, before I go, I want to show you this place real quick. It was like on a Friday. And I'm going out of town this evening. But before I go, let me show you this condo real quick. That's what he said. If you don't, he said, my friend just moved out of it. He's moving to Southeast Asia. And he said, if you don't like it, it's okay. Then I'll show you, we'll find some places when I get back from vacation. But I at least want you to come see this place today if you're not busy. It's the exact place I'm living in right now. It's the exact place I'm living in. And he was like, if you want this place, hey, Lady Josette, he said, if you want this place, it does not go on the market. It does not go. He said, if you say no, we'll put it on the market this evening and somebody else will rent it. So I just want you to see it. If you don't like it, I'm just trying to get an idea about what you like. Walked through the place, liked it, had the place clean. They had the place repainted and all that stuff. And we moved in by the 10th day. I rented an Airbnb for 14 days. They gave me a refund for days 11 through 14. They issued a refund because we found this place in 10 days. Then after that, somebody was like, hey, remember that program I told you about? You can get your residency. So I was like, yeah, I probably need that because I just signed a lease for a year. I signed a lease for a year. Oh, my God. And so after doing that, I saw this program and I was like, I don't really want to do all that. I don't really want to do all that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be 18 in a few months. He might want to go back to Georgia. I don't really want to get into all of that. Something told me, this is what alignment looks like. Something said, hey, Kalu, something said, walk this out. And I was like, well, we got to get the original apostille birth certificate from Georgia. You know Georgia's slow as Lord on the winter. I know Georgia's slow at getting stuff done. They ended up overnighting his birth certificate back to me. Within about 24 to 32 hours, I had his birth certificate back from the time I requested it. I was like, that was exceptionally fast for Georgia. That was pretty freaking fast. Thank you for the Go Populars. And so now came here. So got a message. My son confirmed it. I immersed myself in it. Came here for 2 weeks. Found a place in less than 2 weeks. And then someone aligns me with an attorney who says, yeah, I'll get up and stand in line at immigration for you. Just get all your stuff. I got all your documents. I'll fill all that stuff out. Don't worry about the paperwork. Don't worry about the translation. That's why I'm here. Okay? And so you just get the birth certificate and bring y'all's passports. Went down there, spent the day down there. Ended up not only getting what is our Mexican social security number, but also got our residency for 4 years. So I don't have to border jump. I don't have to do none of that. And did it before he turned 18. So he doesn't have to do that either. This is what I mean by alignment. When you are aligned, because I see a lot of people say, oh my God, I want to move abroad. Oh my God, I want to do this. I want to do that. And for some reason, they are forcing it. They are grinding. They are hustling. And they put themselves in this hustle mode, especially when they say, I got to grind because I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that, I got to do that before I can live a life of ease. I have to do all these things before I live a life of ease. And they're training the universe to say, yep, hustle and grind is exactly what you got to do. That's exactly what you got to do. That's what you're going to do. Because you have prominently said, I do not want anything easy. I want to be tied to my trauma, and I want to feel like I'm working my life away before I can enjoy it. And all of that is backwards. All of it is backwards. And so some people wonder why they can't catch a break, or they wonder why they can't seem to manifest, or they wonder why all the grinding, all the hustling, none of it is sustainable. They wonder why they still don't have that so-called relationship they were fighting for. How come they don't? How come when, oh my God, I wish somebody would say, why won't you fight for me? If you don't get, I'm not going to be the one to do that. I'm just not. I'm not. I will pretend, but if we're being completely honest, that is not in my temperament. I was not born to fight for nobody. I just ain't finna do it. I'll be like, wow, well, that must be your choice. That's your choice. I'm gonna honor you. I honor you. Those are my favorite words. I honor you. Your feelings are valid. The way you feel. Or Chase, right. Why won't you fight for me? Yeah, listen. You got the wrong brown girl for that. I just am not even interested. Well, that means the relationship's gonna fall apart. Just blame it on me as long as it's over. Because what we ain't gonna do is fight for it. Now, I'm not finna do that. I just ain't finna do it. Ease and grace and in a perfect way. Just go and tell everybody it's my fault. I take the blame. Just as long as it's over. I'm indifferent about the rest of however the rest of that shapes up, right? And so we have to be clear on the message that we're sending the universe, right? So I'm going to talk you guys through what does it look like when you're grinding? Because some people can get into grind and hustle mode and not even know it. And they think that it's inspired action, but it is not. It is not. It is not inspired action. The other thing is, let me tell y'all one more thing about alignment. Hey, Holistic, I was on somebody's live that was in Bali. She left Atlanta. I didn't even know we left around the same time. But she left Atlanta and she was in Bali for almost 2 years. She's been gone for almost 2 years as well. So we might have been passing each other in the sky. Hey, holistic doula, what's up? I'm doing amazing. And she's been in Bali, and now she might be on this live, but now she's taking her time and kind of going through Thailand and Vietnam and some other places she's going to explore over the next few months or so. Going into 2026 is her plan. And I saw her go live, and I was like, oh my gosh, what people don't know, let me tell you about full circle. Alignment always brings full circle moments. She and I they seated us next to each other at a conference that I attended. I think it was in DC. I think it was somewhere in the DMV. And it was, oh my God, it had to be like almost 10 years ago. Had to be like 2015, right? And when it comes full circle, and she saw me on her live, she was like, oh my God, like you're on my live. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in Mexico. She was like, oh my gosh. She was like, so long story short, we ended up, after she got done with her live, it was like 1 a.m.-ish in Thailand. It was middle of the day for me, right? Because they're 11 hours or so ahead of us, right? Hey, Avatar. And she ends up finding me, getting me on Facebook and calling me through Facebook for an entire conversation. And we was just talking about life. And I was like, oh my God, we were seated next to each other at that conference. You remember that? She was like, yes, I remember. And it was like a full circle moment. Alignment brings you these things. And it doesn't tire you out. Like Hustle Will, hey Angie, it doesn't tire you out. But I felt a sense of relief and even deeper alignment. And she was basically saying, the things that you teach, the things that you're doing, you can literally pack a retreat center in Bali. The way that you move, so many women would love for you to teach them this in person, in Bali, in Thailand. The locals want it. She said, even if Americans don't move quick enough, other people in other countries, they want this stuff. They want to learn it. They want to do it. And they want the information coming from someone who actually left. They want the information coming from a foreigner, right? Right? So we're going to get into what this alignment looks like and how those full circle moments start to come to you, how those nudges start to happen, and how a lot of people ignore them because they feel like being able to say how much they've grinded for something, or being able to say how much they've put into something, it's like it's a badge of honor, right? Like it's some kind of badge of honor to be exhausted, to be tired, not realizing it is not sustainable. It is not sustainable. So now we know grind culture glorifies exhaustion. Okay, that's the first thing. When you see people saying, oh, girl, keep hustling. Oh, girl, I see you working. You in grind mode. You in grind mode. Guaranteed. You're in grind mode. And you probably don't need them to tell you that. You're in grind mode. You're in hustle mode. If you're exhausted, you tired going to sleep, you tired waking up, you're in grind mode. You're not in alignment. You're in grind mode. There's a difference. You're not taking inspired action. As a matter of fact, your brain is so cluttered, you can't even hear what inspired action you're supposed to be taking. You're just trying to take the next step that you think is right. And a lot of times it's wrong. It's wrong. Yes, you will manifest the thing that you're grinding for. 1,000% of the time. 1,000% of the time. Because some people might say, well, I was in alignment because I manifested it. Yeah, because you told the universe you want to work yourself to death for it. Guaranteed you're going to manifest it. If ain't nobody going to manifest it, you are. If ain't nobody else going to get it, you going to definitely get it. You're going to definitely get what you asked for. And then the universe is going to bring you even more to work for. Because you're training it to say, I want to work myself to death. That's what I want to do. I don't want nothing easy. I don't want nothing handed to me. Right? When in reality, that is the life you're supposed to be living. Ease is what you should be coming home to. Alignment is your natural flow. So why do we step outside of that For some kind of for some people to be like, "Ooh, I saw you hustling. Ooh, I saw you grinding." Please don't ever tell me that. I'd be like, man, I wish I never did that. Because the reality of it is, for me, and this is my truth, those are years, those are days, that is breath, that is time, that is life force energy that I cannot get back. Hey, JW Home, I cannot get it back. And I could have spent less than half of that time in inspired action, less than half of that energy in inspired action. So let's get into it. All right. So grind culture glorifies exhaustion. Alignment honors ease. And it honors receptivity, and it honors intuition, and it honors inspired action. Very different from grinding. Very different from grinding. Real quick, you guys, please tap the screen. I would appreciate it. What's up, Ramsey? What's up, Jaylyn? Please tap the screen. If you haven't already yet, you guys, please press down and hold this amazing nose and share this out so some other people can get this information, right? So let's talk about this. If you have ever grinded for something, in the comments, type yes. If you have ever grinded for something, you've ever said, it's hustle mode today, it's bad season for me, and I'm a hustle for it, put yes in the comments or put the hand up. That's me. If you still have that thing right now, put I still got it and I'm happy I got it in the comments. Hey, Cassandra Finch. What's up, Cassandra? Cassandra, I got to get my VR set so we can connect, okay? Right? If you still have that thing and you are excited and you are still joyous and it still brings you bliss, put that in the comments too. And if not, say, nope. Nope. Hey, Marcus, what's up? Nope. Put nope in the comments if you grind it for it, but you don't have it. you put a lot of work into it, but you say, well, as far as that is concerned, I ain't got that no more. Grinding is not sustainable. And it robs us every time. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. That's me too. I'm with the nope group. I'm with the now group. Okay, but I have accomplished many things. I have lived multiple lives in my little 45 years of living. I have done a lot. Okay, but have those things brought me joy and bliss? Nah, they have not. I'm just now getting to that place in my life. I'm just now getting to that place where I say, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want nothing to do with that, because does that gonna make me happy? Do I got to get up early for that? Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have no part. And I'm happy for y'all that they're going to do it. Well, you won't get to be a part of, or your name won't be a part of. Okay, well, that's fine. Then don't list me. Hey, Crystal Clear. Then don't list me, right? Chasing, yes. It's like a hamster wheel that doesn't go anywhere. It's like being on a rocking horse and thinking you're on a real horse. What's up, Tip Spell Fancy? Thank you so much, boo. I appreciate it. Right? It's like being on a rocking horse and thinking you on a real horse. It's not going anywhere. I don't care how fast you move that rocking horse. It still ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about grinding first, right? Grinding energy. There are some common energetic patterns. There are some common energetic patterns that show up when we're grinding. And you can take this to the bank. You will always see these patterns when someone is in grind and when someone is in hustle mode. You're going to see these patterns. Here they are. He says, not the rocking horse. Yeah, it's just going back and forth. You ever seen a kid on that horse? Have y'all ever seen a kid try to scoot on a rocking horse? That thing ain't got no legs on it. It's not going anywhere. It ain't going nowhere. It's not. Thank you so much for the chili pepper. I appreciate that. So here are the things, all right? So for those of you who want to take notes, you can take notes, but you know the notes will be for download up here in my bio, okay? All right. The first sign is chronic fatigue. They always tired. They can't fit nothing else new in. Chronic fatigue. Chronic fatigue. This is a person who is stuck in their masculine energy. Yeah, we need to talk about masculine and feminine. Everybody has both. Some people have more of one than the other. Okay, some people can manage both, but it's a stuckness in masculine energy, and it is a determination to push through. It's a determination to push through no matter what. Okay, chronic fatigue. Physical manifestations, which is what you're manifesting. This is what we're manifesting when we say, I have fatigue, I'm going to push through this thing. I'm going to grind this thing out. The message that we're actually sending out is saying, I want to be exhausted and I want other parts of my body to be exhausted, right? I want to do too much. I want to work really hard for this thing. What's up, Tracy? Right? This is the message that we're sending out when we say, I got to push through. All right. The second one is anxiety about the results. So there's something that you want to do or something that you want to be a part of, but there's always this part of you that says, I'm so scared of what the results are going to say. I'm so scared that if I put my program, product, service, whatever it is out there, that people are going to reject it. Or I'm so anxious about whether or not this is going to actually work if I put my business and myself out there. If I make myself vulnerable, if I grind this out, if I hustle through this, I'm so anxious. I'm so caught up in my feelings about what the results are going to say or what the results are going to be. It starts to show up as like tight chest, right? Racing thoughts. They're all in their mind, right? But it's essentially the message we're sending is that I'm not in control, right? I've lost control of this, right? Hey, Stephen, I've lost control of this, and I'm scared that I'm going to lose. And we all know when fear manifests, when things like fear show up, hey, Miss Erica, thank you for the follow. Things like fear bring a gang of their friends. They bring anxiety, they bring depression, they bring all these things that hang together, that just kick it together, them kicking cousins. They bring everybody with them. What's up, Nadia? And so when we are anxious about what the results are going to be, this is what we're manifesting. This is what we're manifesting. All right. The next thing that shows up when someone is in grind mode, they come back to you and they say, my creativity is blocked. My creativity is blocked. I remember being in a mastermind. I was in Lisa Nichols' mastermind. I'll never do that again. All right. Y'all didn't hear me say that. But I remember being in a mastermind with a bunch of other high achieving folks. What's up, Coppertone QC? And I remember being in that mastermind. And I remember a lady in there, very well known. I'm not going to call her name. Like, you can type in speaker in the U.S. and she might be one of the first people that pop up on Google. I'm not going to say who it is. But I was in a mastermind with this person. And this person had so much anxiety. And of course, from being a person in the general public, we are always like, you're everywhere. You're speaking at the White House. You're everywhere. Like, you are everybody hires you. So this person literally broke down crying. And this is what masterminds are for. So I'm not saying it for that, but you could tell this person was in hustle mode and they had a creative block. And she broke down crying. And a good friend of mine, who's still a business bestie of mine right now from DC, they both from DC, but from DC, she said she went over to console her. Hey, John, she went over to console her. And then when everything was done, of course, I didn't know her like that. And I knew she was a big deal. I didn't say nothing to her. I was just like, I don't know her. People got their stuff. But she knew her. And she was in the same circles and stuff with her. After my friend got done consoling her, I was talking to my friend at lunch. And I said, well, what happened? She said, girl, she was crying because she couldn't think of how to make content. Girl, she was like, how do y'all make all this how do y'all make content? Where do you get the brain to be able to make content? Stop it. I know you lying. She was on the floor crying. But this is what happens when a person is in grind mode, when they are out of alignment. Not saying that what she's doing in her life and her purpose is incorrect. That's not what this is saying at all. But when your creativity is blocked, that when you have creative block, that's number 3. When you have creative block, you're grinding, you're not aligning. My creativity is blocked. That's what they say. How do you come up with that? I saw you post this. I got another friend that's like that too. That just really kind of dawned on me. I think she might be in grind mode too. I don't really care, but yeah, she's always like, how do you do that? Show me how to do that. Tell me how to do that. And I'm like, just no. No. I don't know any other word to say. I'm not telling you. No, just stop grinding. And then it'll come to your brain, right? And so grind mode takes away the creativity. We can't have the space to take inspired action and be creative because our brain is blocked with grinding. Our brain is blocked with, I gotta hustle. I gotta figure this out. I gotta hustle. I gotta figure this out. And the creativity can't flow through us because of that. Number 4, they are irritable and they are impatient. Hey, Jamie, they are irritable and they are impatient. They get irritable and they get impatient. They don't want to wait for nothing, and everything bothers them. They are irritable and they are very impatient. They like, listen, oh my God. I remember being in grind mode, and when people be like, you gotta wait, I was like, listen, the one thing I don't have today is wait. I don't have wait today. I just can't. I was born with 0 patience. So you need to either give me what I've come here for, or you need to point me in the direction of someone who can. And thinking back, what a disgusting way to be. What a horrible way I could have been to people. And of course, they start scrambling to get me what I need. But what an absolutely disgusting way to be to people as a leader, as someone who's a so-called leader. It's not right. It's not right. Grind and hustle was the choice I made when I woke up that morning. So I don't have the right to take it out on anybody else. I don't have the right to do that. We don't have the right to do that, right? They are irritable and they are impatient. Both of those things is a surefire sign. They are either hustling, they're grinding, and they are outside of alignment and ways they can align to get that same thing done, to get the same result, right? What's up, Papa Bear? The next one is going to be they compare themselves to other people and they're envious. Now, this is an easy one. Because you have a lot of people that be like, oh, I don't compare myself. It's just me versus me. It's just me versus me. I don't compare myself to nobody. It's just me versus me. Right? They lying. They straight up lying. They straight up lying. And if you don't think they lying, tell them about a way that you won and look at how their demeanor changes. If they don't immediately jump on you and say, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Or this is how you can test it yourself. Go look at the timeline of somebody who's winning. Because people put their highlight reel on social media. They know that ain't their real life. I don't know what's their real life, but they know they be lying. People stay putting a highlight reel on social media instead of showing the whole picture. And they have a right to do that. It's their timeline. But if you want to put it to the test, go look at somebody's thing who you presume as someone who's winning. Go and look at their stuff. What do you feel? What comes up for you? What comes up for you? Do you feel a certain way when you see people winning? Or do you sit back like I do and I be like, look at this girl. girl, you better go ahead. If you don't go ahead and keep winning, I swear to God, every time I turn on this TikTok, I want to see somebody. If you don't, girl, like somebody just got their first 1,000 after she got on here and she only had 11 followers. She's like, I can't get my following up. And she said, how are you doing it? And I told her. And she said, girl, I hit 1,000 followers. I said, girl, you better win. She said, I got my first 1,000. You better win out here. You better go and win. Keep doing what you're doing. Right? Keep aligning and doing what you're doing. Happy Wednesday, Medical Wig. What's up? And so it brings me joy to see people in what I feel is alignment. I hope I did that right. Thank you so much, Kay. I appreciate that. And it gives me joy to see people aligning, right? Right? It gives me joy to look at their stuff and be like, oh my God, their kids are so big and beautiful and healthy, right? Oh my God, their kids are thriving. Oh my God, they are still in love with their person, with their husband, with their wife, with their whoever, right? It brings me so much joy to be able to see that, right? If you in hustle and grind mode, that's not what you're going to see. You're going to be like, why everybody got to be online? I swear to God, every time I scroll, here they come. I know they tired of being on here because I'm tired of seeing them. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you in grind mode. When you ain't happy for other people, right? Thank you, Tip Spell Fancy. You ain't happy for other folks, right? Or you can't go into somebody's room and drop some encouragement to them. That stuff is free on here. To go into someone's room and drop gems, to go into someone's room and just say, I'm just here to show you love. I want to bring energy into your room. I want to do what I can to support you. I want to do whatever it takes to get to know you. I want to keep a front row seat to you constantly winning in alignment. That's free on all of these apps. That stuff is free. No one's forcing us to do that. No one's forcing us to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the least we can do, right? Is give that. You know what I'm saying? When you in hustle and grind mode, when we're in hustle and grind mode, y'all, we can't see that. We can't see that. Thank you so much, Tip Spell Fancy. We can't see that. When we are hustling and grinding, we literally have given all of our energy to be nice away to the hustle, away to the grind. All right. So that's the fifth one. Comparison, envy. Hey, Andy. They don't want to see a person win. Matter of fact, they get sick of seeing people go viral. They get so tired of seeing it. You know what I'm saying? The next one is going to be financial pressures, right? This is where a person has a scarcity mindset, and that means they feel like one of the first things, I'm gonna tell you guys this. So that means they feel like there's not enough space for everybody. Right? Anytime people feel financial pressures or hey Danielle, or they come from a space of scarcity. And I'm going to say this, two things. Number one, scarcity mindset is not always just money. Let me know if you understand that in the comments. Say, I get it. In the comments, say, I get it. Scarcity mindset is not just money. Say, I get it if you understand it in the comments. It's not just money. There are people that date 10 people at one time because they don't think they're going to find anybody. That's a scarcity mindset. Or they think they're going to lose one while they're dating the other. It's a lack of alignment. Say, I get it in the comments if you get it. I ain't saying you can't joyride with a few different people, but trying to keep all of them in a chokehold because you scared those people always end up with nobody. Always end up with nobody. And then they try to brag like, I could date whoever I want. I mean, can you though? It don't look like it. Look like you ain't got nobody is what it's looking like. If I'm really telling you what I see. It don't look like you alone. You know what I mean? Hey, joyfully. And so that's the first thing. Scarcity mindset is more than just money. But when a person is feeling financial pressures, they feel like it's not enough for everyone. There's that if Tiff Spell Fancy wins, I don't win, right? A scarcity mindset is naturally tuned that way. A person who hustles, hey Chastity, a person who hustles, a person who grinds, they almost always see it that way. I hope I did that right. I love those birds. A person who has a scarcity mindset, they always see it that way. So they feel like, oh, if Tiff goes viral, there's no space for me to go viral. That doesn't make, it's illogical. With the billions of the people on the planet, the numbers are in my favor and the numbers are in Tiff's favor. Right? It's illogical. If they were really just to stop and think about it, it doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't make logical sense with the number of people on the planet, right? And that goes the same for like the example I gave for dating. People like, I'm dating 10 people. I want to see all of them. I want to see it. It's a scarcity mindset. Even if you dated 0 for 10 years, there's still billions of people on the planet. My God, the numbers are in your favor. How do you not logically see that? How does that not click for you? It doesn't make sense, right? If they were to really stop and think about it. But when people are when they're out of alignment, they only see it one way. That I got to get it before they get it. Right? That I got to get it before they get it. Not realizing that we're literally living, floating, being in this thinking stuff, right? Which is what Wallace D. Wattles calls it in The Science of Getting Rich. There is a thinking stuff that fills the universe in every space around us. A thought in this substance helps a person produce the thing that they think about, right? It didn't say that if someone else thinks about it, I can't have it. If someone else manifests it, I can't have it. There is literally enough for everyone, no matter what industry you're in. And if you don't believe me, I always tell people, when you are feeling discouraged about the thing that you created or the thing that you want, go and look at all the different kinds of bread on the shelf. Bread is just one example, but it's the biggest example. Look down step back and look at the entire aisle of where they keep all the bread on the shelf. If you're feeling discouraged about what it is you sell, what it is you do, right? All them people, although there's 50 other kinds of bread on the shelf, they don't care if their bread is at the bottom. It's on the shelf. It's on the shelf and it's an option, right? It's on the shelf and it's an option. So now that we've talked about grinding, right? Now that we've talked about grinding, let's talk about alignment. Hey, PJ, AKA. Let's talk about alignment. Well, here's what alignment looks like. Alignment says alignment brings immediate ease and synchronicity. Alignment brings immediate ease and synchronicity. It brings immediate ease and synchronicity. And that means that you're in a flow state. Whatever you're doing, you should say, oh, that's easy. I could do that. That's not a problem. That's easy. This is what you should be saying when it comes to the things that you want to do. That's easy. I could do that. Or if somebody says, I want to collaborate with you. Do you think you could do this, or this? Say, oh, that's easy. I already got that. That's alignment. Right? That's alignment. It brings immediate ease, EASE, and synchronicities. That means you start seeing numbers or animals, birds, feathers, all the things start coming around you when you're in flow state, okay? Or when we're in flow state. Your body is relaxed and your breath is deep. That's how you know you're in alignment. When you start thinking about a deadline, you got to get something to somebody, and your breath is just right up here in your chest, your shoulders are a little bit higher than they need to be, you know you're not in flow state. You're not in flow state. You're getting ready to grind and hustle to meet that deadline. Brings immediate ease and synchronicity. The second thing is there is both clarity and creativity. there is both clarity and creativity. So not only do you say, oh, that's easy, I can do that, and I can also do this. Do you, if I'm really gonna get creative, how many of you have ever said that? When somebody said, do you think you can do dot dot dot, you're like, oh yeah, that's easy, I can do that. That's not a problem. And then you say, but if I really get to be creative, what about I add this too? What do you think about that? Right? How many of you in the comments have been able to do that? Say, that's me. What's up, Virgo gang? That's me. If you've ever been able to do that and be in flow state and be both clear on what it is they asked of you, but also immediately creative and say, oh, that's good, but what if I brought this too? What if they say, oh, can you teach a group of, I don't know, third graders how to cut vegetables? Yeah, I could do that. And what if I taught them the different colors of the food and what those colors do to their bodies? Oh, that's a good idea, right? You have immediate clarity and you're immediately creative. That's how you know you're in flow state. Hey, Amanda, that's how you know you're in flow state. That's how you know you're not hustling and grinding. You in alignment. You're in alignment. You don't have to think about it. It just comes to you, right? That's ease. And you're doing it's the same work probably, right? But you're doing it with ease. The next thing is you naturally have joy and you naturally have gratitude. Natural joy and gratitude. And in this instance, you guys, it's also not just you. It's the person who is requesting something from you. They naturally are like, oh, I'm so excited that you get to work with me, that we get to work together. So there's a natural joy and you're like, that would bring me joy. To do that for those little third graders, that would bring me joy. That would naturally make me happy. To see them smile and see them have a good time, that would naturally make me happy. That would naturally make me happy. There's a natural joy and a natural sense of gratitude. Hey, Corner. Natural sense of gratitude that you have. I'm grateful. I'd be glad to do something like that. Right? So those are the things. And then confidence in pause. Right? So when nothing is moving. And this is a big one. Because grinders and hustlers, they got to be moving all the time. Now they be so busy, and I just be looking at them like, I'm not doing that. I don't even care what award you get for it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't even care, right? Let me be awardless. I don't want to do that. I don't want anything to do with that, right? And when there's pause, you have a sense of confidence and you have a deep sense of trust in the divine. When there is a pause, you have a confidence. You have confidence. And there is a deep, hey Tia B, there is a deep sense of trust in the divine. What's up, sis? Kamora. There is a deep sense of trust in the divine. There is confidence when everything is paused. There is confidence. And you have a deep sense of trust in the divine. Hey, Kizetswa Christo. Yep, you have confidence in the pause. Confidence is what I really lack, and then second guess myself. Because when everything's quiet, mystical, is that what you're saying? Foxy, what's up? When everything's quiet, aloha, what's up? When everything's quiet, there's a sense of confidence instead of, oh my God, nothing's moving, so I must have did this wrong. Oh my God, nothing's going, so I must have done that wrong. A lot of people think that, and it's not true. It's not true, right? It's not true. So there has to be a deep sense. Hey, Dr. Dex, what's up? I appreciate your presence here. There has to be a deep sense of trust in the divine, right? There has to be a deep sense of trust in the divine. And the way you know this is your heartbeat is steady. What's up, aloha to you? The heartbeat is steady. And you honor that rest, that this is a time for rest. That rest is sacred, not lazy. That when you're resting, your brain, hey, up the happy, I think I said that right. Your rest is sacred, not lazy. I sleep like a fat starfish. And I'm not fat. But I sleep like a big old fat starfish. I'm going to get some sleep. You tell me it's happening after about 9 o'clock my time, it ain't happening for me. That's one thing I can tell you. It ain't happening for me. I just missed that one. Right? Right. And so now if I'm already out and we happen to stay out late, that's a different ball game. But you talking about it started at 9? No. I'm going to be asleep. I'm going to be asleep. Okay? Guaranteed I'm going to be asleep. Right? And so one of the things we have to be aware of is that our rest should be something that's taken seriously. Rest and sleep is the time when our body does the most physical healing. Rest and pausing, right? Rest and pausing is sacred, not lazy. It is a very sacred thing. And it slows down the aging process of the body. So all the wear and tear and all the things that we've been through, rest should be sacred. So when you feel like something's not happening or something's not moving, right? And you get an opportunity to pause, honor that pause, honor the space in gratitude and say, I know the next best space is upon me. And I know that I'm going to wake up with the creative mind and know which way to move, know which way to go next. I'm going to know. I trust that when I wake up, hey, Miss Diana, I know that when I wake up, right? There was an affirmation that I learned early on when I was training as a metaphysician. And it says something along the lines of, I leave this burden with God and I go and I rest and I sleep with peace, right? In a way it says, I trust the divine to take care of this because my physical body needs to get some sleep, get some rest, you know. And it says, I'm leaving this for the universe to work out, and I'm going to go free. Right? Hey, Harlan, I'm going to go free. And it's important that we understand how this all works, right? Because part of petitions and prayers and meditations and all these things, part of this, hey, blinkers, is about us releasing things so that we can go. But can you imagine releasing something or your parents telling you as a kid that they're working on something and you constantly coming back saying, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Did you do it yet? What can I do to help? What can I do to help? Is it ready yet? Can I do it? Are we done? What can I do to help? No, that's not how that works. We go right on along and we play while they do it, you know, and we do so with a deep sense of trust that it will be done, right? It's the same way when we're manifesting through ease and grace. It's the same way, and through joy and gratitude and bliss and outside of hustle mode and all the things, all right? And then, of course, there is these magnetic connections that happen, right? And that these magnetic connections, they usually come full circle. These magnetic connections usually come full circle, right? And these kinds of connections there's like a tingling in the body. There is this open aura, right? There's a sense of safety that you feel around certain people, right? And then, of course, this is your ability to attract these soul-aligned connections. And that doesn't happen when we're hustling. When we're hustling and when we're grinding, the only thing we're attracting is the people that want to work us more. The only thing we're attracting is the people that want us to hustle more. The people that say, I got some more work for you to do. I got another one for you to do. I got another one for you. And I got another one for you. And another one. Right? That's all we attract. And that's not where we want to be. We want to affirm and be in a place that allow us to attract with ease and grace in a perfect way. And attract things that are for our personal use. Because you got some people that will think they're aligned and they're doing things with inspired action, when in reality, all they're manifesting is more work that will help other people out. They're only manifesting work that will help other people out. And I always tell people, at the bottom of it all, why don't you want something for you? Why don't you want something that's just for you? Why don't you want to win something good that's just for you? You know? And underneath it all, a lot of them come back and say, I don't feel like I deserve it. I don't feel like I'm worthy of it. Or I feel like if I actually do this and I win, then I got to keep doing this. I got to keep going forward, right? I remember not wanting to go live on social media because I was like, but what if people people, they always want more. They always want something. How many of you have ever heard of the story if you give a mouse a cookie? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever heard of that story if you give a mouse a cookie? Tell me I'm not the only one who they read that. Oh my God, that story. If you give him a cookie, he gonna want some water, some milk. If you give him some milk, he gonna want a straw. If you give him a straw, he gonna want a plate. If you give him a plate, he gonna want a napkin to wipe his mouth. If you all the way through the story, the doggone mouse ended up rearranging the furniture, all this stuff. So that's kind of how I felt. If I was like, okay, when I get on social media, people gonna always want more. But we have to remember that when we are aligning, it doesn't feel like work. Hey, Sonia, it doesn't feel like work. It feels, I don't know, it feels like divine favor. It actually feels like divine favor. Because you immediately start to see the opportunities that you get as a result of being in alignment, right? You get to see, hey, Calm Coast, all the opportunities that are afforded to you for being in alignment, or afforded to us for being in alignment, right? So let me give you some affirmations, you guys. I'm going to read these, and you can either jot them down or whatever. Keep them for yourself. The first one is, what's meant for me moves effortlessly towards me. What is meant for me moves effortlessly towards me. What is meant for me moves effortlessly towards me. That's it. I am a clear channel for inspired ideas. 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 I attract blessings with joy and gratitude. I attract blessings with joy and gratitude. I attract blessings with joy and gratitude. And for those of you who find it tough to say that, you can say, I deserve blessings that bring joy and gratitude. I deserve blessings that bring joy and gratitude. And then you can go to, I attract blessings that bring joy and gratitude. Right? Hey, Intersect. I hope I said your name right. I rest knowing all things are in divine timing. And this is for those who have a problem with scarcity or confidence when things are quiet. I rest knowing all things align in divine timing. I rest knowing that all things are in alignment and divine timing. I rest knowing all things align in divine timing. Okay? And then the last one, what's up, keeping up with Kel? The last one says, my energy calls in what belongs to me. I love that one. My energy calls in what belongs to me. My energy calls in what belongs to me. My energy calls in what belongs to me. Okay. Man, I hope y'all got something out of this live tonight. I know what it feels like to grind, and I know what it feels like to be aligned, and I know what it feels like, hey Gary, to want to be in alignment more, to want great ideas to come to you and things like that. And so I'm grateful for you guys participating tonight, right? All those are good. You are so welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you take these affirmations and I hope you use them. I hope you take this information. You are so welcome. It's an honor to pour. And I hope you guys have an incredible night. I'll be live again tomorrow night. I will put these notes up in the download so you guys can have them. For some reason, yes, I will. I'll add the download for the notes to the link in my bio under downloads. Hey Deborah, for some reason, y'all, I can't find my my replays. I got to do a little work on that. Otherwise, they would have been on YouTube by now. But once they're there, what I will do is I will put up a post announcing it on my TikTok, and I will put up a post in my stories, like a little text post that announces it. Okay. Yeah, I got to go hunt those replays down. For some, it says like it's still calculating it or it's still doing. Maybe, hey Kwasi, maybe I gotta wait a little bit. Maybe you gotta wait a little bit, right? You're so welcome for the Florence Scovel Shan book, Game of Life and How to Play It. And I gotta put y'all's top 50. I gotta put the 50 reading. I'll do 52 books, cause hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Kwasi? Hi, Ange. Kwasi, do I know you? How you calling me Ange? Do I know you? Let me know that in the comments, because there could be I don't know what that means. I'm funny about people calling me Ange. My family calls me that. Yeah, I don't know that I know you. But anyway, so for those of you who want, what's up? You in a different account. Okay. Or you changed the name. You changed the name. You changed your profile picture too, I think. But you changed the name. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Yes. I'm so glad you enjoyed the book. So I will put that top list of 50 books. Right now, I'm reading a Divine Healing book. Yes, your name changed. Okay, Kwasi. So a Divine Healing physical book by Catherine Ponder. And then I'm listening, because I told you guys I read books and I listen to books, and I can do both at the same time and retain both. So, but I'm not doing that right now. So I read books. And the book list is going to be a free download up here. Let me put that in there in the morning. That'll be up there in the morning. That'll be up there by noon EST. I'll do that as soon as I get up in the morning. That's the first thing I'll do. I'll put that 50 book list in there. All right, for y'all to get. Yeah. And I think I'm going to put 52 on there. And I'm going to get out of my head about it, because I try to read a book a week. I just love it. But I think there's some good things in there, and I can either do all metaphysical ones, or we can do some health ones. Like I'm listening to Fast Like a Girl, which is aligning your ritual fast, your spiritual fast with like your cycle and things like that. So if you want that to be on the list, I'll put that on the list too, you guys, because I think everybody should know about fasting. Everybody should know about fasting and cleansing and things like that. So I'll put that book list up there, and I'm going to figure out where our replays will be. Okay. I'm going to figure out where the video, because right now I do not see my replays on TikTok. Maybe I need to update the app. Dang, that means I got to update it to America. I don't really want y'all's new version. Dang it. I don't really want what y'all got going on over there. But I think, hey, Coach Love, I think mine is acting funny. What's up, Real Mom? What's up? Thank you for your daily. Angela. What's up, Angela? I hope you're doing amazing. She said, don't do it. Ooh. Okay, I know how to do it. I know how to, I'll just turn, because I have American Wi-Fi and Mexican Wi-Fi. I got both running through here. I'll just change the Wi-Fi and see if it will at least give me my replays and let me download those. But right now, it looks like it's trying to force me to download that US update. So I'll just switch Wi-Fi and see if it'll give me our videos. And then if it does, you guys, I'm going to go put those videos and put a link up here for y'all to grab the replays for those people who are like, where the replays at? I'm going to get as many of them as I can because, you know, it only keeps replays for like 30 days. And I've been going live like this since like late July. No. I've been going live like this since August. Okay. So there's a lot that we're missing. And if not, y'all, I'll just make a new video about it, and we're gonna keep it stepping, and it'll be on YouTube. I just gotta make a schedule and do it, okay? But we ain't gonna grind. I ain't about to hustle for a doggone thing. I'm not finna do that. Just that ain't me. It's gotta come with ease and grace. But I can put that book list up there because that's easy. I already have the list. I'm just gonna give it to y'all. I'm gonna update it and give it to y'all. All right. All right, listen, you guys, it's been a pleasure sharing time and space with you guys. It's time for me to go get some rest, all right? I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow night, 9 p.m. EST. Love and light, y'all. Bye.